Yo, what up? Welcome to another episode of the Oakland Warriors podcast. I'm Patrick, and once again, I'm flying solo. The Warriors, they are back to one game over 500 after beating the Rockets 105-98 in the second night of a back-to-back. They lost to Dallas in a questionable game the night before with some bad calls. But in this one, they got up to a 24-point lead, and then they just barfed it all away. May have been tired legs, but overall turnovers, poor shooting, some inopportune bounces the Rockets' way. And all of a sudden it was like, they're going to lose this one. But I'll be honest. I will be honest. I didn't think they would give up the lead and lose. I thought they would actually win this one, which is a big difference from a week ago and the prior 2-3 months. This kind of game they would have lost, and I again credit having Jimmy Butler. He's just a guy. I mean, he didn't have the most perfect game, but just in those final minutes, even though there were some mishaps here and there, like I said before, the dude knows how to play. He settles. He knows when to cut. He knows when to pass. And I credit him for a double team in the final minute. Rockets had the ball, and they had a chance to shrink the lead, the Warriors lead even more. And Butler had just missed a shot, and he came down and he doubled the guy, which allowed Pods to get in there and steal the ball. And pretty much like at that point, it started, closing out for the Warriors. So, we knew there'd be some growing pains. I personally think they played well enough at the end of the Dallas game to get that win, but that's neither here nor there at this point. So they went 3-1 so far. That's the record with Jimmy Butler, and they're working it out. And hopefully, now that the All-Star break is here, hopefully Jimmy Butler can start getting his legs under him, and Kuminga can start getting back on the court and getting his conditioning up, because that's what we all want to see. I want to see those guys out there on the court. I just want to see the full healthy Warriors lineup to see what kind of dynamic combinations they could have out there. This one, it's just like Podziemski, he played well. He didn't shoot particularly well, but his presence was definitely felt. And I've talked about how he has looked a lot better since he had that layoff of that injury, and he was able to probably take a step back and get some perspective, see the game a little bit, less pressure on himself, get away from all the social media, all that jazz. So that's good. And then Moses Moody, he had a strong start to this game. And I keep saying, it's almost as if the dude should have been playing this whole time, the last 2 or 3 years, getting regular minutes. Hey, how about that? Buddy Hield is a guy that a lot of people are wanting to see get more time on the bench. I'm one of them as well, because at the end of the day, let's face it, the whole point of playing Buddy Hield is, Steve Kerr, he kind of does this. He'll stick with a guy for too long, but I get that he wants to give Hield that chance to get hot, get his rhythm back, get his shot back, whatever. He's a streaky shooter. Maybe he can get on a hot streak or something again. And then you also have the threat of Buddy Hield hitting a three, right? So other teams have to react to that defensively, create space, whatever. But at a certain point, that threat of making a three is one thing, but then the reality of him not hitting threes is another, right? You're going to have to address that, because, Buddy Hield, though surprisingly, he's decent at the rim on his drives and fast break layups. He doesn't really bring you much else, definitely not on the defensive end. And you can put Moody out there. You can put Podziemski out there. I'd rather see one of them on the court than Buddy Hield, personally. You know what I mean? Even though Buddy Hield is quote-unquote this well-known three-point shooter, that's his thing, I trust Pods' shot right now more. I trust Moody's shot now. I trust Guy Santos' shot from deep right now. So who knows? Maybe, hopefully, Buddy Hield takes some days off and then gets in the gym and starts finding the bottom of the net again and can bring that to games, because they'll need that. They'll definitely need that as the season goes on. As of now, the night's games haven't all played out yet, but right now the Warriors sit in 10th, 17 games out of first, and 3 games out of the 6th spot behind the Clippers. Like I said, 28 and 27. And, we'll see how the rest of the season goes. 27 games left. So, let's see how it goes. I'm just enjoying. I look forward to these games way more than I did like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago. But, Jimmy Butler, again, not to keep going on and on and on about the guy, but it's just nice to see like all the little things that he does for this team. Like Steph talked about how it's not as hard to score anymore. I mean, we saw that. We've seen this on the court with him. And Jimmy Butler does a lot of those things, like that cut in the final minute or two, that give and go with Draymond, where he got the wide open dunk. I mean, that's just a guy who knows how to play. And in a way, he gives the Warriors a lot of, he's kind of like a combo of like Draymond, and I've talked about Andre Iguodala, but he's also kind of a little bit of Sean Livingston out there in the sense that he can get those twos, he can get those mid-rangers, he can get those around the basket turnarounds and whatnot. So a lot of those aspects of his game, I mean, I've said this before, he's just a very, very good, solid, all-around basketball player, and he even hit a 3-point shot tonight. So, we'll give him that. I'm just really thankful that this version of the Warriors gives us something new to analyze, to talk about, because everything from before, there was nothing surprising. Everything was known. We knew what Kyle Anderson was. We knew what Andrew Wiggins was, even though we always hoped for more. We know what Buddy Hield is. All this stuff, right? We knew what these Warriors were before, but now it gives us something different. Like Jimmy Butler is this new shiny object for all of us fans to kind of like watch and see, and how his talents and his, like, as they say, swagger, and how his attitude filters to the team and really, really can affect some of these guys. I mean, he's been on the road this whole time with his team. They haven't been home. I don't think he's been to the Bay at all. He's had no time for that. The closest he got was, when he met up with the team. It didn't suit up, but he met up with the team in LA for that Lakers loss. So, give him some time to settle in, and then we'll see what they can make of this, because they literally just threw him in with these dudes. And even though they ran a similar kind of offense like in Miami, like, it can get even better. I had a few YouTube polls here, and I asked, well, this is, how do you feel about the Luka trade? 23% said I hate it, 23% said I love it, and 55% said I don't know, I'm just plain numb. So, if you add that with the I hate it votes, that is 78% didn't like it, so, or didn't feel great about it. So that's pretty obvious, and I agree with that. How do you feel about the Jimmy Butler trade? 66%, they love it. 6%, single digits, 6% hate it. And then 28% said we should have traded Draymond Green instead of Andrew Wiggins. And then one more poll with Jimmy Butler. What's the ceiling for this Warriors team? 9% said the play-in, as usual. 32% said the 6th seed and an admirable first-round exit. 23% said the second round. And 36% said Western Conference Finals and beyond. I love YouTube. Hey, that's good. I just want to get out of the play-in. I want to see a 7-game series against whomever with this squad. I would love to see the 3 old heads go at it. I would love to see Kuminga, Moody, Pajemski, all 3 of those dudes get some real meaningful playoff experience and show the NBA, show the world like how good they can be, who they are. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to see them get that opportunity. But again, long way to go. A fun team in general right now. This Rockets game, they did look a little sluggish, of course, coming off the back-to-back. What I think they said it was like a 15-hour turnaround from the end of one game to the other, or it was like 15 hours from landing to playing the game, whatever. But either way, this game was satisfying at the end, but, obviously it looked a little flat here and there. All right, that's all I got.